The photo she meant to archive. The photo wasn't supposed to be in the live album. It slid into my morning like a coin down a throat, quiet, inevitable, unforgivable. I was searching our cloud for the picture of the basil plant she swore was thriving under my careless sun when the thumbnail appeared. Velvet, lamplight, a familiar shoulder, and a mouth caught mid-laugh that wasn't mine. Underneath, the app had written yesterday's date in soft gray, as if politeness could save us. We were supposed to be ordinary. On Sundays, I iron pillowcases because flat cotton feels like a promise heat can keep. She sleeps with her palms splayed on my ribs like she's taking attendance of my breath. Our balcony forgives being too narrow for two chairs by letting us take turns and calling it choreography. When rain comes after midnight, we crack the window and let the city wash its face while we wash each other's. Her knee hooking behind my thigh with sailor's certainty, my mouth finding that nickel-bright coin beneath her collarbone, where breath admits it wants to be fire. But the app had remembered something we didn't. Evidence is the hobby of men who want to be wrong. I began a folder called Weather and fed it small things. The scarf folded with seminar precision, the French candle that pretends to be the moon, the doorbell clip where a stranger's jaw fogged the lens, the voice memo she titled Later, 21 seconds of hiss, her laugh, and a man saying my name like he was setting the table for it. She had started showering in the dark, telling the mirror she had migraines. She filled her glass halfway at dinner as though the rest belonged elsewhere. The new chime her phone learned at 12:06 and 12:11 sounded like a second household hidden inside ours. London, she said, thumb already moving. Their morning keeps trespassing on my midnight. I told myself silence was discipline. Silence kept answering to surrender. The photo opened to a room I recognized without having paid for it. Harborline's signature chandelier performed above velvet the color of a bruise trying to be wine. The corner of a slate jacket showed in the left edge, arrogant as a shoulder that knows what rooms are for. The caption in the metadata said only, Room 512, 1:34 a.m. The app, in its cheerful tyranny, suggested a move to archive with a button the color of forgiveness. I closed the laptop. The room, which had been behaving until then, leaned in to see if I would say something brave. I made coffee loudly enough to count as a statement. She emerged wrapped in my shirt, hair damp with the lie that darkness makes easier. She kissed my jaw with accurate affection, the kind that saves your body and bankrupts your hope. "You're up early," she said. "Basil," I said, "thought I had a picture of it being better than it is." "Plants are like promises," she said, reaching past me. "They forgive every time until they don't." She left for work with the scarf I hate because it has manners. I waited 10 minutes and walked to Harborline because endings like to be courted. The lobby smelled like time and polished confidence. The elevators did arithmetic for people who mistake altitude for absolution. At the bar, a man with careful shoulders raised 2 fingers without touching the air, and something clear arrived obediently. He did not look at me. His jawline practiced anonymity. The bartender poured me the cheapest beer. The room resented and pretended to forgive my tip. That night she kissed me harder, as if passion could be a disguise. In bed, she crossed her knee behind my thigh and guided my hand beneath her shirt like someone turning on a lamp she trusted. We moved with the fluency of people who know their lines and still want applause. In the middle, her eyes went elsewhere and returned with apology penciled faint along the edge. Pencil erases clean if you don't press. I kissed it anyway. At 2:11 a.m., the doorbell camera murmured. Face recognized, Milo. 30 seconds of grain, his cheek fogging the glass, her shadow slipping past him like someone who knows how to walk without waking mugs. The latch gave the sound of surrender. Sunday wanted witnesses. Courage likes even numbers. I asked her brother and our friend Anton to come for pasta. The apartment smelled like garlic telling the truth. We laughed while plates carried themselves. After, I mirrored the doorbell clip to the television. The rectangle did its neat geometry around his jaw. "We should talk privately," she said instantly. "We will," I said, "but I need witnesses that I didn't dream a welcome." They left us to be a room. She scrolled her phone like someone pulling a thorn. The app suggested archive again. She didn't press it. "I told myself it was a hallway," she said finally. "Somewhere I could stand without a tour guide. I liked the echo." "Is he married?" Bureaucracy steadies grief. "Separating," she said. "A son, 8. "Do you love him?" The word is small until it pulls up a chair. She looked at the ceiling crack that refuses to choose a direction. "I love who I am when I stop narrating. With you I started describing myself from outside, like I owed footnotes to every heat." He turns the placards around and says he believes the painting without the text. "I loved us like architecture," she added, quiet. "I wanted weather." "We're going to separate," I said. The sentence felt like a key nobody would cut again. She nodded with relief I refused to rename as cruelty. "Do you want me to go now?" "I want the door to forget his face," I said. "Pick a door, I'll take the other." Leaving photographs itself fast, but houses invent time. She took the hoodie, the charger that fits everything, and the scent that trained corners to stand up straight. She left the candle that pretends to be the moon, the scarf folded into weather, and the photo the cloud had tried to file under kindness. At the threshold, she lifted her hand toward my wrist, the old code, and changed her mind midair. The absence landed better than touch. "I was happy," she said, "and greedy and afraid and sorry." "You were alive," I said. "So am I." The lawyer's office smelled like paper and solved rain. She asked if I wanted an outcome or a scene. "Outcome," I said, surprising the organ that budgets for drama. Back home, I reset the lock, taught the doorbell only my face, and opened windows until the curtains forgot her perfume. I placed the spare key back beneath the plant's dirt. The basil, graceless and stubborn, decided to live. Because endings itch, I opened the app one last time. The photo still waited there, offering itself to the past. I tapped archive, and for once, forgiveness obeyed a button. Now, when rain comes after midnight, I still crack the window to let the city wash its face. I iron pillowcases on Sundays because some promises keep themselves if you heat them right. Sometimes I press my thumb to the thin place on my wrist and answer myself. Here, here, here. The doorbell hasn't learned any new faces since. The phone asks if I want to improve recognition by sharing clips. I tell it no. Some memories are better archived than relived. Some nights, that's enough.